Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin Dubuc,
David Wynn,
and we're here to talk about how to have great success in any market. Today, guys and gals, we've got a very successful guest from down in South Florida, and we've got a returning guest, Rafael Amaro from the Dubuc team at Click and Close Mortgage. Hey, Rafael, who did you bring with you? Because I think we've got a giant in the industry, and let's get her a walk up.
Well, guys, today we have one of the most talented, real estate brokers in South Florida market. Actually, to the point that I changed her name and calling the queen of real estate.
Oh my God!
Not only she is an experienced real estate agent, she understands finance, and she also is an author. She has a couple of books. She runs a nonprofit organization dedicated to the most, I would say, the children's, the most unrepresented part of our society. She's fighting to get these people an opportunity, a chance in life, and be able to achieve this American dream. So I met her a couple of years ago, and we never did business together until just recently. And then when I start getting to know her, understand how beautiful she's seen, how she dances, how she does real estate. Said, you know what? I need to team up with this team, especially with her, and take some of those people that she's helping with and present the opportunity that we bring to the table. So we connected. We've been working together. Has been a blast. She has a team of people. Of course, it's not
yes, she does.
Success. Every single leader, we understand, every single leader in the real estate business has a team of successful real estate agent and people that make this dream happen, So she has a great team too. It's a blessing to be working with the team in itself.
What a great walk up. Yeah.
This is one of her book, It's the cost of
being rebellious. The cost of being rebellious in English, soon to be coming out in English. Now it's in Spanish.
And John, let's make sure we benchmark that and get that in the podcast across the screen with how we can get that book out there, and then make sure that it's in the description too. Because, folks, I've met Vivian; she's amazing. I haven't read the book because I don't read in Spanish yet, but I'll read the one when it comes out in English. But I can only imagine, that it's pretty amazing. So, thank you, Vivian, for joining us today. We're excited to have you here.
Well, I first of all, I want to thank all you guys. It's like amazing. Ralph. Ralph's been a blessing to have, like I said, I knew him years ago, but we never really connected. I want to thank Edwin Reyes and my partner, Ivis Alvarez, because without them too, Tower Team Realty wouldn't be here, wouldn't exist. Yeah. And obviously all the colleagues that are involved with us here, all the realtors that make everything happen for the company. I believe that I am in one of the best, amazing industries in the whole world. I love my career. I always say I don't sell houses, I sell homes. And being in the industry, for a little bit over 30 years, I've experienced anything from the builders to condo conversions to also a little bit of financing. I did a little bit of mortgages back in the day before the crash. And then obviously now the conventional real estate that has allowed me to be able to touch so many families, thousands of families on a daily basis, where I can guide through these difficult moments where we as realtors have had to reinvent ourselves. So thank you for having me here. It's a blessing. Click and Close has been great. Ralph is amazing on steroids. His customer service is way beyond our expectation.
I'm paying for the commercial, guys.
Well, let me tell you something. The pleasure's all ours having you here. And I want to make sure we get the team plug, Tower Teams Realty, right? It's Tower Teams Realty?
Yeah, Tower Team Realty.
Yeah, and that's out of South Florida, specifically what location?
Yeah. Yes, it's out of Miami, Florida. We have expanded into Orlando. We're expanding now into Cape Coral, which is the west side, and the West Coast. We're also opening in Colombia, Argentina, and soon to be Spain. So We're growing.
I love it. You're definitely growing. And, again, let's talk about how many members on that team. So we know you've got a big team. How many people represent Tower Team Realty?
Currently, right now, we have about 82. And probably humbly saying we can probably have more. It's not our liking to say we want, a whole bunch of realtors where we can really not touch, help, and guide, because at the end of the day, it's a very difficult career to get in. It's a very hard license to obtain. There is a lot of laws and there are a lot of little things that we need to know as realtors to be able to guide our clients and the communities in the right direction. I believe that every realtor that comes through our doors, it's the mentoring, the one-on-ones that we do with them that has made them successful. And obviously, that with all these things that are happening right now in the industry, I believe that each and every one of them deserve that one-on-one. Like we do it here. If it's not Ivis, it's Edwin. If not myself, as a team, we're able to help them be able to be successful in the industry and with their clients.
Well, what I heard you say was we're a rapidly growing team. We're hitting all corners of Florida as well as some of the South American countries as well. And as a result of that, we are looking to grow, but we're not looking to grow with the wrong people. We want to go with the right people, and we want to make sure that we're hiring people that we can provide the right support to create great success for them. But in turn, you want to create great success for your consumers, right? You want them to have that, top-notch customer service experience. And that's just a testament to who you are, Vivian. And again, the success that you're having. I love that you said that, because some people just want to grow. You want to grow for all the right reasons.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I believe that we cannot, as agents, cannot do it alone. We cannot do it without the mortgage. The mortgage is like 99.9% of our success, because we need that financing. And I believe that Ralph, we have clicked I like that click and close. We've clicked very good with Ralph, because one of the things that our clients need is the education. They need, as far as I go, and this is what we teach our agents here, is we like to make sure that the client is educated on that loan, because it's a 30-year loan. It's not like just get them into a house, let's get them a loan, and then 3 or 4 years later, they're in foreclosure. So it's the education, which is far more the most important out of all these transactions. And Ralph is so there. To me, it's very relieving. It's very relaxing, because since I know about mortgages, it's like, oh my God, I get a little bit more, like I want more. I am more demanding. This is what I say. But with Ralph, it's like I can take a chill. I can sit back and I can relax and let him do his magic with each and every client. And then they call me. Oh my God, it's like Ralph keeps us in touch with everything. And that to me is very comfortable as an agent, and is what I like to do, which is that customer service, not only during the transaction but after the closing.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, Vivian, because one of the things that we're known for, and Rafael definitely is holding that up to its highest degree, is clear communication throughout the loan process. Right, that's super important for us. But at the same time, we have a saying here, which is touch the lead, touch the partner. Right. Anytime that we're going to talk to that consumer, we want to talk to the agent and give them a clear understanding as to exactly where we're at. And I know Rafael does a great job of that. And I'd love to hear the feedback. Sometimes I don't get to hear it from the ground floor, and knowing that he's out there doing that thing. Rafael, brother, you're doing us proud down there in South Florida. We truly appreciate you, and again, we also appreciate you for bringing us great people like Vivian. But we're jumping ahead, Vivian, because last time I looked, you've got this giant agency. You're all over South Florida. You're growing into other countries. And did you just wake up one day and you just had this business, or where did we get started? Let's get back to the beginning here, right? So when you first got in.
We're going to need 5 hours for that. Actually, I wanted to be
clear my schedule.
I ended up in real estate because it was the closest that I found as a career to being an actress. I wanted to act all my life and sing.
Love it.
And when I was going through college, I drove the person that was there. I can't think of the name of the title, but the counselor, that's the name. I drove him insane. I would say, maybe I can become a police officer. Maybe I can become a nurse. Maybe I can become a firefighter. And I did all volunteer in all these areas. And every time I went there, I went back to the office and I said, listen, change my career, I don't like this. Let's look for something else. So little by little, I ended up owning at 19 a mechanic store. At 24, I owned a ACLF. and then a beauty salon. And in a beauty salon, I met a realtor, and I connected. The beauty salon was like make everybody pretty. I can, be myself. I can talk, and I can just be myself. And she was telling me all the great things about her career and how she did this and how she did that, and I kind of like fell in love with it. So a little bit after that, I sold the shop, and I went to work for a builder. Back then, builders would pay you a salary and maybe bonuses, and
right.
I would open up the project, the development, and I would sell it off like in 6 months. Everything was sold. And I was like, oh my God, I can really do this. And I can really act right through it. I would tell the people, well, of course you're selling on raw land. It's very difficult to sell something that's not built,
You got to paint a picture, right?
Yeah. So it's like
right.
a little picture. I would say, well, here's your bedroom and here's your bathroom. And so I was like, oh my God. So I would come home and tell my mother, you know what? I'm just such an actress where I'm working at. I love it. So, so little by little, I kept, learning more about the business in the building construction side, and then I went to buy my own place, and I met the person that was there that was financing. I sat down with him, and his wife was in the background, and she said, when we finished, she asked him, who was that girl? And he says, well, she works here in this development, whatever. She went from a company, Interstate Financial. She went over there to pick me up, and she says, how long do you have to go here? And I was like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean here? She says, yeah, when are you going to finish this development? Because I want you to come work with me. I said, I don't know who you are. I thought you were like maybe a subcontractor coming here to try to get the roofs or the painting for the community. And she says, oh, no. I have a mortgage company. So I ended up in the mortgage company, working with the mortgages, but I don't like numbers. I went back to the same thing where I would sell the community, I would sell the people, I would sell the financing, but then my partner was doing the mortgages. From there, I said the mortgages is going to collapse any minute. So then I went to the regular real estate, where at that time the foreclosure business was kicking in, and the modifications and the short sales. So I started real estate during that time, when the short sales and foreclosures were kicking in. And little by little that, I just, took myself into the regular real estate, and then worked for one real estate company. And then I decided I wanted to be just more. I wanted to do more for the community. And usually when you're in real estate companies that are very conventional, it's like, you're very boxy. You're like in a little boxy area. And if you do too much, then you're crazy and you're losing it. So I said, I got to go on my own. And that's what I did.
Well, I love it, and I love what you said. You said, hey, I don't want to be in back of the house, right, which is the mortgage side, right? And that's the part of the side that we represent. I want to be front of the house, right? I want to be out there in the action, showing the homes and building dreams and making those dreams come true for people, because that's where you're a better representative. You mentioned the movie star. I already wondered, right? You look like a celebrity. So, were you a celebrity in something? Were you a movie star, right?
Hey, guys.
You need a show.
She's very humble. There's something that she's not telling the group here. It's the energy, her aura all around her.
I feel it from Texas.
You don't have to show. We feel it here.
The moment you walk on the office, you got Amarilis up front, giving you a hug and kiss, offering you coffee. Then you have Ibis making sure you're comfortable here, working with the rest of the team. And then you have her,
awesome.
So, we're going everywhere. We're going to different offices. But when I have to come to this office, it's not that I have to come. I wanted to come here. At least
want to be here.
Hug with them and drink coffee with them. Because not only, I felt that energy, I come out of here recharged, ready to keep helping more people. So
that's
she's
amazing.
Very humble.
Yeah. Well, and you talk about being humble. You mentioned all our accolades and the things that you're doing for the community. And, at the end of the day, I think, what better person to represent the front of the house, because you care. You absolutely care, because here you are, helping all these people, right? And I say all these people because I've seen your production as a company, and you're at the head table of that, right? You're spearheading this whole operation that you've created, with all these different things that you're doing outside of the business to help the communities. And wow, we're honored to have a chance to sit here and hear your story, Vivian. And so I truly appreciate you taking us from the beginning to where you are today, because you've truly created an empire. And, I want to speak to this. You're in Miami. That's a hard territory to conquer. You've got a
It
lot of
is.
people out there that are selling Sunset, right? And a lot of people not doing nearly as well as you are. And you guys have created an amazing business out of this. And I think a big part of that's because you're doing it for the right reasons, right? You're leading
Well,
people to their
definitely,
dreams.
yes. It's about, like I said, building memories for the families that buy their homes. And I know I tell Ralph sometimes, I said, Ralph, I feel that what this family is telling us is not, they're not going to qualify probably now, but let's see if we can guide them, and maybe 90 days down the road, they're going to be able to qualify. And I think that makes a big difference, because a lot of the people, and I don't want to judge anybody or any company, but a lot of realtors will say, well, let's just next. I met a girl that used to say, Vivian, I'm not going to deal with that client. Just next, bring me another one. Next, bring me another one. And that's not my philosophy, because I'm an immigrant. I came to the United States with my parents when I was 4, and my mother came with a dream. We all come here with little suitcases full of dreams. And when we come from different countries, Colombia, Venezuela, just all over the place, and we come with these little suitcases full of dreams. And it's very sad when somebody tells you, oh, you can't do this, but you can't do that, but you can't do this, but you can't do that. And I find myself sometimes, like telling a person, listen, if you need to buy a car, let me know. I have contacts in the car business. Don't play high interest rates. Make sure you do the right thing. Or if you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And sometimes when you help somebody just with a car, or listen, you should go to the store. The clothes is less expensive here for your family. They look at you. Oh, you know what? I can trust you with the purchase of my home when it comes to that time.
Right.
And even renting, sometimes you're going to rent and you're just cautious about saying, listen, this apartment's great, but you have a baby going up and down the stairs with a carrier and everything's be uncomfortable for you. So they look at you and you're worried about them with the baby and how difficult it is to going up and down the stairs. And they're like, oh my God. So, and I'll tell them, I don't think this is for you. Let's just, look for another one. And then she'll say to me like, well, I was with a realtor that just wanted me to get whatever property, just get into that rental, because it seemed like they were worried, or they wanted more their commission, and they were worried about what I needed or what my family needed. And at the end of the day, I believe that God rewards when you do the right thing. And you got to do that. I would do it like if it's for my family or for myself. And to me, that's very important.
I got to say, Vivian, I love your values. I absolutely love your values. And, again, it's a testament to your success that you're having, because you're doing it for the right reasons. But I got to rewind this a little bit, because you painted a picture, and I don't know if you realized you did this, but, sometimes I see things in pictures or movies, right? And you said I was 4 years old and I came over with a suitcase full of dreams. And, I see this little girl, right, coming off the airport in Miami, right, with this suitcase and this big eyes, just ready to take on this world and get everything that you want and make it come true. And then, you talk about getting the door slammed in your face. You can't do this, you can't do that. And I see that, like these opportunities, and you're getting the door just slammed in your face, but that never stopped you, right? It never stopped you. You just said, hey, look, I don't care if I'm defeating the odds, right? I'm going to do whatever it takes to make my dreams come true. And here you are, right, with this amazing agency that's all over one of the most expensive states in the U.S., right? Florida, in the Miami area, with offices all over the place, serving communities, and now trying to bring that back home to where your journey began. Man, what an amazing success story. I absolutely this is awesome to hear, because this is the stuff people don't get to hear, right? The behind the scenes stuff, like who is Vivian Pena? And this is who you are. Like, just, man, what an amazing story, right, Dave?
Well, like Rafael said, she glows. I mean, that was a testament that was definitely glowing out there. Wow, Vivian. I do want to bring something up. We had a meeting yesterday. This is how relevant the Hispanic community or the Spanish community is.
Right.
Down there in South Florida, it's multinational, right? You have Colombia, you have Portugal, you have South America, all condensed into a small area. But we just had a class, and this is across the United States.
That's right.
They expect the Hispanic buyers in the United States to grow at about a 50% or 70% rate over the next 20 years. A Spanish buyer is going to increase by 70% in the United States. That's just not South Florida.
That's right.
So that's a Spanish descent, Portugal, whatever you want to call it. Another stat they showed up to us was the average person is under the age of 45 of Hispanic descent that's buying a house. And they're wondering why, because as we know, houses are getting more expensive, right?
That's right.
It's a lot of these houses people can't afford, but the Hispanic community is multi-generational. You're willing to have parents live with kids and grandparents and so forth.
I think it was 3 generations is pretty typical for a lot of Hispanic homeowners, but also affordability, right?
Yeah.
As you mentioned, and that's got to be difficult in the South Florida area. How do you guys tackle that? How do you tackle the?
Well, I believe that it's funny because like the Hispanics, at least Miami, I don't know about other states, but in Miami, families come here together and they rent a house. Like 3 families, like mom and dad, and then son-in-law with wife, and a daughter-in-law with son. So them 3 have like a 3-bedroom home. They all live in their little rooms, and they start saving money. So they all save money. Then they're all working on these W-2s. So together, they're up to 120, 130. And you should see how they work, how hard they work. And when you said about when I was 4 years old, how you brought that back into the picture, was that when my parents got here, my father worked 3 jobs. My father worked for a boarding company Monday through Friday. And, 9 to 5, then he cleaned airplanes on Saturday and Sunday. And then, my mom, him and we would clean offices Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And, we saved money. And, 2 years when we were here already, my dad bought our first house. We were able to buy our first house. Nice. We also do the options where we do the rent to own. And we have several investors where we do the rent to own and then just educate the families. I'm very much into education. As a matter of fact, one of the things I want to do this year in 2024 in mid-year, because I'm preparing for that right now, is doing the seminars. We want to do the seminars so people can come in, and thank God that we have Ralph, because I couldn't do this by myself. But
you have our support. I promise you that.
We have your support, and that is like amazing. Where we can actually get people to register, and then we can meet them one by one. But we're going to be there. We're going to educate them with what a mortgage is, what do you need to qualify, what is a W-2 versus a 1099. Sometimes I tell them, if you've saved up a little money where you have your 20%, start with an apartment. Start with an apartment and start with a townhouse. We also have builders that will cooperate with the closing cost. And the builders that I work with, if I can't do the mortgage with Ralph, then I won't sell their property. Simple as that. And they usually will say, "Really, Vivian? Really?" I'm like, "Yes, really." It's either with Ralph or I'm not going to sell you guys. Okay, we'll make an exception with you. So being that's being said, that's also very comforting, because I've seen the cases when I was doing builders is that, they were like, we have to close with the inside lender. And then later on, 3 or 4 weeks before, they couldn't close for whatever reason.
That's right.
With Ralph, I know I have the comfort that I know that every step of the way, we're going to be able to qualify and stay qualified to be able to close a deal. So I think that we're focused now is on that. To be able to sell South Florida, we have to focus on being able to get these people to know the knowledge, the background about qualifying to be able to buy. And we have a lot of that. And we're going to have a really good year. I know it's going to be a phenomenal, amazing 2024.
Hey guys, it's Devin
and David.
We're your real estate success partners. Hey, if you're enjoying these podcasts and want us to keep bringing back this content, we truly appreciate you following us. But if you could go below and subscribe or make some comments, we'd truly appreciate it. And we'll keep bringing back great content in 2024. Well, you just said something there. And I think this is where David's going with this, is with the multi-generational family, you now have 3 generations a lot of the times where they're able to pool their money together for the down payment, but they're also able to show that for the resources for the qualification side of it. Absolutely. So now they can potentially find affordable housing because they're not relying on one salary. Now they have 3, maybe sometimes 6 salaries, or they're willing to work multiple jobs to make that happen.
Absolutely.
But you dropped some other knowledge there, and you said, a lot of the times you've got builders that have in-house lenders, and they give these great incentives if you use their in-house lenders. However, a lot of the times these in-house lenders have restrictions, and also because the business is not earned, by going out and doing the hard work to truly educate the community. Sometimes these in-house lenders, they're not the best resource for getting a loan closed on time at the closing table. And that's where pairing up with the right partner, not just on the mortgage side, but on the real estate side, because when we're working with great agents like Vivian and her team, you know how to educate the consumer and say, hey, look, we could potentially use the builder's investor, but these are the problems you might run into. I've got an expert over here that understands our culture, that understands our qualification process, and we know we've got a proven track record. We're going to be able to get them to closing if we use him. And I'm going to position you to where I represent my client's best interest by going to that builder and saying, hey, if we're going to do business here, you've got to use my lender because I know my lender is going to get our clients to closing. Absolutely. And, that's awesome because, again, you're representing us, you're representing your customer, and you're making sure that your consumer gets the most amazing experience because we already know what your team's going to do, right? It's going to be awesome, right? But now when you pair them up with the right lender, that customer gets into that home with little to no effort. And we all know behind the scenes, it wasn't little to no effort. There was a lot of activity to get those people in their homes.
Yes. So that's what we're doing. I love to teach. I love to educate. And something else that's also very important, I tell these to all the agents. When you're dealing with, let's say I'm Cuban, or you're dealing with somebody from Colombia, or you're dealing with somebody from Argentina, you got to learn a little bit about their culture. It's totally different. We are all different, even though we're brothers and sisters all together. We all have different foods. We have different wines. We have different cultures. So it's nice to say, well, the Colombian family, they like this and this and that. So I learn with them about them to being able to help them find what they want. And that's very important, so that's also something that I teach. I love to teach the realtors here. I'm the one that basically sometimes get groups of 5 and 10 realtors, and we go over scenarios. We go over cold calling. Farming is something very important. I know that a lot of realtors are like, oh my God, it's so hot out there. But listen, just get a nice little a Tower Team Realty shirt with some jeans, some sneakers, and look humble, be yourself, be friendly, knock on doors, and just tell people, listen, I'm here for you. If you need to refinance, if you need to sell, if you want to rebuy, you want to invest, I'm your girl to come to. I'm the community expert, and become an expert in your community. So those are the things that we like to do here.
I love that. Get out there in the community and meet the people, right? Represent our company, throw on the gear, right? And say, hey, I'm here to represent your community, and I want to make sure that you have a friend that you can trust, and we're Towers Team Realty, and you can trust in us. Let's talk about this. You talk about multicultural, as far as the clientele in South Florida. What does that look like inside of your office, right? Do you have a multicultural environment there with Tower Team Realty?
Yes, we're eating all kinds of food all the time.
We're coming. All right, now we're really coming.
I love to eat, so that's
Who doesn't?
They catch me. I have the Colombian panaditas. They have the arepas in Venezuela. Then you have pastelitos, Cuban pastelitos, Mexican. Oh my God, my favorite food in the whole wide world. So we are like just mixed. Jamaican. We just have all kinds of Argentina.
Dave, you asked me the other day what my love language is. Vivian's speaking it right now.
My love language is food.
I love it, Vivian. I love it.
Yes, it's all of ours.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I crack a joke. I always crack a joke, and I'm single, so I tell I'm telling Ralph or Ivis or whatever. Listen, if anybody asks me on a date, I'll tell them, listen, don't take me to dinner, okay? Just take me to get a coffee because maybe you don't like me. And you don't want to spend all this food on me because I like to eat. So I'm like, just give me the coffee.
I love it. Yeah. Well, you know what? Coffee's great. And at the end of the day, I drink a lot of it. So I'm right there with you. But no, that's one thing I love about South Florida. And, I think most people know this. What a melting pot of cultures, but a melting pot of just amazing cuisine, right? You guys have so many, great places to eat. And just, you guys have a lot of fun out there. I don't know if we have as much fun here in Dallas. What do you think, Dave? I think we are due for a trip to Miami to hang out with Vivian.
Let's go. July.
Yeah, I think we're coming in July. We're going to do it. We're going to make it happen.
Oh, you got to make it happen. And we'll do this big batch for you here. And we'll just have this office overflowing with love and waiting for you guys. All you got to tell us is when and what you like to eat.
All of it.
Everything you just said. Exactly.
All of that.
There you go. There you go.
Well, I tell you what, and I know, you're busy, but we'd love to keep you all day. And as you said, it'd probably take us 5 hours to tell the whole story. I think it's longer than that. I think you've got a lot to say, Vivian. But what did we not tackle today that you want to get out there? Is there something specific, any message you want to get out to the community?
Yes. Actually, this is my pet peeve. This is my passion. And I want to let the community know that we need to not only real estate mortgages, but we need to help our young adults learn about everything that we do. I think that if there is a young man at 15 working for Publix on a W-2 part-time, and he's there for 3 years, he graduates and maybe he converts himself into a full-time employee with 2 pay stubs and that continuing W-2 and a higher salary, if he has saved his money up for 3 years, he can have his down payment for his first property at 18.
That's right.
And that is my passion. And I just want the world to know that we all need to get together and help these young adults, these high schoolers, to have a vision, a mission, and a purpose for their lives. And we as adults, and in this career, this beautiful career that we're in, we need to educate them, because at the end of the day, life is about finances. Life is finances. And we can't grow without them.
I love that you said that, because what a lot of people don't realize is the power of being a homeowner, right? At the end of the day, we know this, and sometimes we take it for granted. And you're saying, hey, we need to get this message out there. Is being a homeowner means you can start to develop generational wealth.
Absolutely.
And being in South Florida, there's a lot of immigrant families that come over with that dream of homeownership, and having the ability to educate these people on not just, hey, you need to buy a home, but how can you buy that home, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so at the end of the day, getting that education out there is so important, because when you're building wealth in realty, what we know, Vivian, is in the last 8 decades, right, or 80 years, that there have only been 7 markets where homes have devalued. And out of those 7 markets, only twice has it happened in 1 decade. That means that there's a 91.75% chance that you're going to gain equity with real estate.
Absolutely.
And we know on average, it's at least 3 to 5% per year. Last year, it was 7.8% equity gain on average, right? So what does that mean? Well, that means that even if you don't want to buy the real estate to live in it, right? You'd say, hey, I love living in the city. I don't want to buy anything. Buy the real estate as an investment so that you're investing in your future. We had an agent on not that long ago who was in the military, and she made a really wise decision during a military career where she was utilizing her veteran housing allowance and her status as a veteran to purchase homes every time she was stationed somewhere. And what she ended up doing is she was stationed, I think it was like 12 or 13 different places, and she'd purchase a home and then move on and then put somebody in the investment property so she could continue to get investments. When she retired military, I think it was 12 or 16 years later, she had $3.5 million in real estate equity as a result of using those benefits. But the reason I mention that is because she had the foresight to do that. Not most people do. And when you've got teams like Vivian here with Tower Team who are out there educating the community, not only that you need to be a homeowner, but also how you can become a homeowner. We need more people like you, Vivian. We need more people that are out there spreading that word and helping folks find the ability to have that financial success in their life. So thank you for doing that. And we definitely want to, be a part of any, seminar or any, forum where you guys are reaching out to the community and doing, the education part. That's so important. You've got a sponsor here, no question about it.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's empower the next generation.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So we know you're in an awful lot of different places. So again, let's go back over those markets that you represent in Florida today. So if the folks out there are looking to do business with the Tower Team Realty, where can they find you guys?
Well, you can call me at 305-490-7772. My website is vivianpena.com because I do a little bit of everything. In that website, you'll see real estate advice, but then a little bit of music, a little bit of my podcast, a little bit of everything. But in general, that's the best way to contact me. And we're opening now in Cape Coral. We're already physically in Orlando. We're going to be opening up Colombia, Argentina, and also Spain. Spain will be towards the end of the year. Colombia will be mid-year this year.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And folks, we're going to put that down in the lower thirds. So if you're watching the video, you just saw that. And then, of course, if you're listening to the podcast, that's going to be in the description. So you're going to want to make sure that you reach out to Vivian. But let's run that back one more time in Spanish, too. I know you've got a big Spanish community that follow you. Let's go ahead and give that information out there in Spanish as well.
Bueno, me pueden localizar al 305-490-7772. Mi personal website es vivianpena.com. Ahí tendrán un poquitico de todo lo que yo hago. Se está todavía armando el website ahora. Estamos localizados ahora en Miami, Hialeah, Miami Lakes. Estamos también en Orlando, ya físicamente ahí con nuestra oficina. Ahí el manager Brandon Ford. También tenemos oficinas que estamos abriendo en Cape Coral y estamos abriendo en Colombia, Bogotá, Colombia, y Argentina, y para finales de año en España. Así que lo pueden localizar al 305-490-7772.
Give these folks a call, have an amazing experience. You're going to get guided through the process every step of the way. And at the end of the day, Vivian, all the right people. So it's not just about the home process. Once you buy the house, she's going to help you find the other folks out there to do the renovations if necessary, to get out there and buy a car. She knows everybody, right? So, you've got a friend for life and a realty team that's going to really care with the Tower Team Realty Group. And Rafael, brother, when the folks out there want to find you, I know you serve that South Florida market too. How do they get in touch with you, Rafael?
Very simple, 786-333-2592 or my email, but let's just keep it on that phone number, okay? 786-333-2592. I also have an IG account. It's called Mortgage Help.
There it is. And guys, Rafael's great. Rafael is also multilingual. What languages do you speak, Rafael?
Oh, that's a good question. I speak English, Spanish, okay? I also kind of I can speak Portuguese and get to understand. I speak Russian as well. And Cuban. Cuban is a different language. That's
And you speak Devon because you talk to me every day. And at the end of the day, brother, we speak each other's language for sure. Brother, I love that. And, again, if you're looking for great support on the mortgage side, Rafael is definitely your go-to guy down there in South Florida. He's going to give you a great experience. Man, wow, what a journey today, Dave.
It's been awesome. It's been awesome.
Unbelievable. Well, Dave, anything you want to say before we call this one good?
Well, if I'm looking for real estate in South Florida, there's two people I'm calling, Rafael Amaro and Vivian.
There it is. Rafael, anything you want to say today before we let Vivian get back to saving South Florida?
The only thing that I would say is that one of the biggest reasons I joined the Dubuc team is the charisma, the desire to help people. And when you connect what is the culture of our team, what the culture of Tower Team, that's why we match it so great, because we have the same desire of empowering the people and empowering the next generation. We got a great team and also great products. We got great product that actually helping a lot of people that are struggling financially, because the issue here in South Florida is not finding the people that have good credit and good income. It's actually matching the people finding the people that have good credit with income and money to be able to buy. And we solved that part of the puzzle.
Rafael, from here moving forward, you're shooting all our commercials. I'm done. I retired. Rafael, you're taking the throne, brother.
No, I can't do your job.
But I got to tell you something, my friend. I have to agree with you. We definitely we've written a really great suite of smart products that are designed for, especially for the folks that have a hard time with covering up with their down payment money, their closing cost money. We've got some very specific proprietary products that really help those communities, and I know you're serving them well down there in South Florida with our series of smart products. So thank you for bringing that up, Rafael. We don't plug ourselves as often because really today we're here to plug Vivian Pena and Tower Realty. So, Vivian, anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
I'm in love with you guys. You guys are amazing. The company's amazing, and like you said, the products are great. I'm in love with the down assistance program, the down payment assistance program. That's very helpful for the areas that we are covering right now here in Miami, Florida. Very helpful. So.
Well, we love you too. So it's all coming right back at you. And Dave and I, we definitely going to have to make a trip to South Florida. I don't think that there's any reason not to go, especially now that we know Vivian. Yeah, okay, come on up whenever you want to come out.
My hat from Texas.
Yeah, we'll give you a big howdy and a welcome you here to Texas. So yes. Come on out. Well, good stuff, guys. Well, I think that's probably going to be it today. So we're your Real Estate Success Partners. I'm Devin Dubuc.
I'm David Wynn.
And if you want to check us out, come over to realestatesuccesspartner.com. Again, that's realestatesuccesspartner.com. But I think you want to come check out our video and meet Vivian and Rafael live and in person. Or live for us, not so live. Well, they are live. So, but meet them face to face on YouTube, and you can find us over there at the Dubuc Team. You can also check us out on IG or Facebook at the Dubuc Team. Make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe. That lets us keep bringing great content from these awesome people across the U.S. like Vivian. So until the next time, we'll see you then.
Bye, guys.